So tonight we're going to be making the praline pumpkin dessert. And we wanted to introduce a tool to you that you may or may not have seen before. This is a whipped cream maker. This one comes from Pampered Chef. There might be other places that make them as well. We're going to get this started and ask one of you to pump it while we prepare the rest of the dessert. I came from Blackfoot, so this is to keep my cream from sloshing around too much. You want to start with very cold, heavy whipping cream. We're going to put just a little bit of whipping cream in the bottom. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. This may or may not be as part of your dessert, the whipping cream, homemade. You can use less to taste. And 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, minuscule amount. And then you're going to add additional heavy whipping cream to the fill line, which is about halfway up on the container. You're going to put in the plunger, close it, and then you're just going to start pumping up and down. And within a minute or two, you're going to have home fresh whipping cream. We're going to enjoy that tonight. But since I have other things to teach you, I'm going to ask one of you if you would be willing to plunger the whipping cream. Just keep going up and down until it gets nice and thick, and then I'll invite you to just put that back on the table. We have some canned whipped cream too, just in the interest of ease tonight. So now let's get on to our main praline pumpkin dessert. You're going to heat your oven to 350 degrees. Spray the bottoms and sides of a 9 by 13 inch pan. You're going to put in a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. This is not pumpkin pie filling or pumpkin pie mix. This is just plain pumpkin in the can. Do any of you do your own pumpkin from scratch when you're making pumpkin pies? Some of you do. Excellent. If you do that, we recommend that you use a pie pumpkin. This is a pie pumpkin. Not all tiny pumpkins are pie pumpkins, but all pie pumpkins are tinier than jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. They're a slightly different variety. They make a thicker pumpkin, and you just end up with a better product. So that's what we recommend if you do your own. You'd cook it until it's soft and then puree it. Next, we're going to add a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk, not sweetened condensed milk. If you're trying to make this a slightly healthier version, you can buy evaporated milk that is with skim milk rather than regular milk. We've just got the regular tonight. You're going to add 3 eggs. One cup of sugar. And 4 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. With a whisk, you're then going to incorporate that all together. You don't need to have any kind of an electric mixer or anything. It whips up pretty fast. Then it smells so good. So once that's all whipped up, we're going to pour it into our 9 by 13 pan. Scraping our sides. Have any of you made or eaten dump cakes before? This is a version of a dump cake. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take a package of cake mix. Tonight we're using a spice cake mix. A yellow cake mix would work equally as well. If you're very creative, you might even use a different flavor. So we're going to incorporate that evenly across the top. Then we're going to add 1.5 cups of chopped nuts. Tonight we're using pecans. You could use walnuts or almonds. Pecans are a great flavor and really go nicely with the pumpkin. And then you're going to use 3/4 of a cup of melted butter or margarine. I'm a butter lover, but for this recipe, I prefer to use margarine. It makes, once it's baked, a more streusel-y type topping. The butter makes a thicker, cakey topping. It's not bad, but my preference for texture is to use margarine in this recipe. So it's been melted, and we're just going to evenly incorporate that over the top of our dessert. And then we're going to bake this for 50 to 60 minutes in our 350-degree oven. At my work, 55 minutes was the perfect amount. At my home, 55 minutes was a little bit too long, and we had not burnt, but very brown dessert last night. So I would start with 50 minutes, double check it. You want it to have a nice brown topping on it, and then when you insert a butter knife in the center, it would come out clean, and then you would know that it was good. After you're done baking it, you're going to let it sit at room temperature, let it cool for 30 minutes at least, and then you have the option of serving it warm, or if you're not going to be serving it immediately, then refrigerating it and bringing it out a half an hour or an hour or so before you serve it. You can serve it with whipped topping, you can serve it with ice cream, you can eat it plain. There's lots of different things. Pumpkins are a great source of vitamin A, of fiber, of potassium. So they really are a nutrition powerhouse. We know the deeper colored our vegetables are, the more nutrition they have in them. Nuts are a good source of protein. Cake mix is just a great source of flavor. So it's not necessarily a nutritious thing, but it does have some nutrition benefits to it. Do you have any questions about the pumpkin praline dessert? Okay, and how did we do with our whipped cream? Did it get all whipped up?
It whipped. It's still a little softer.
Okay.
Stiff.
Okay. And where did we put it? Oh, excellent, excellent. So let me show everyone how it turned out. I'm away from the camera now. So we've got a nice whipped cream there that took just seconds to make.
Now, I've tried it with the boxed whipped cream.
Yes.
And I didn't have as much luck as with the refrigerated carton.
Okay, my understanding is the colder the cream is, the better product you're going to get. So your box might have also been refrigerated, but play around with what you have available to you. And if you really want to have a fresh whipped cream product, then this is a gadget that you might be interested in. Whipped cream is not a health food either, but it's a wonderful, especially for special occasions. This is what our dessert actually ends up looking like. I wouldn't call it the most beautiful dessert ever, but it tastes fantastic, and you're all going to be able to taste a fairly generous helping tonight. Any other questions?